Hello, dear one. I want to speak to the part of you that is tired of carrying so much, the part that whispers at night. There must be something more than this. If you're listening now, it means you're ready to open a little more to that more. You're ready to set down the old weight and breathe in something softer, truer, kinder. This is not about forcing change or fixing anything that is broken, because you are not broken. You are whole, even if you feel cracked open. The cracks are just where the light is entering. And today, we begin together, slowly and gently, to look at the beliefs that shape the way you've seen yourself. Some of them might not even be yours, but they've lived in you for a long time, like quiet guests who never left. And now it's time to lovingly ask them to go. It's okay if you feel unsure. Many people do when they first begin to look inside and wonder why they've believed certain things for so long. Sometimes we believe we are not good enough. Sometimes we believe love must be earned or that we must be perfect to be accepted. These thoughts are like old recordings that play over and over. Maybe they were given to us by family, teachers, or by a world that seemed too loud and harsh. Maybe we picked them up without even knowing it. But just because something was repeated often doesn't make it true. A lie, if repeated enough, starts to feel like the truth. But we don't have to keep believing it. There is a gentle power inside each of us that knows when something isn't right. That quiet feeling in your heart that says, I deserve better. That is truth. Every belief we hold has roots. Some roots are shallow, easy to lift. Others go deep into the soil of our past. But even the deepest roots can be loosened with love, not judgment, not force, just love. You don't need to fight your beliefs. You only need to become curious about them. Ask, where did this come from? Is this helping me now? When you become aware of the thought that is hurting you, that awareness alone is already healing. You don't need all the answers. You just need a willingness to see things differently. That is where change begins. So let's be gentle. You are not weak because you have believed painful things. You were doing your best with what you knew at the time. And now you are learning a new way, a more loving way. Today you can decide to see yourself not through the eyes of old pain, but through the eyes of love. You can let truth enter your heart like warm sunlight through an open window. And you don't have to do this perfectly. You only have to be willing. That is enough. Let's breathe together, gently, softly. Inhale love. Exhale tension. Let your body relax. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw soften. As you breathe, imagine you are making space for truth to find you. You don't have to go looking for it. It is already within you. Sometimes all it takes is getting quiet enough to hear it. Truth doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It whispers in love. So many people carry beliefs they never questioned. I'm too much. I'm not enough. I always mess things up. No one really sees me. But none of these are the voice of truth. These are echoes of old fears, and they are not who you are. Who you are is deeper than any passing thought. Who you are is love, pure and full. And your true self is always trying to reach you through the noise. That little voice inside that says, I want peace. That is you. That is truth. You may have lived with certain thoughts for years, even decades, but there is no rule that says you must keep them. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to grow. And every time you choose love over fear, even just for a moment, you are doing the most powerful work there is. This is healing. This is returning home to yourself. It's okay if it feels strange at first. That's normal. When you've lived with certain beliefs for so long, they start to feel familiar even if they hurt. And sometimes letting go of them can feel scary. But what if you're not losing anything at all? What if you're gaining everything? Freedom, peace, joy, love. These are not outside of you. They are already within you, waiting, hoping you'll say yes to them. And it starts with small things, one thought at a time, one breath at a time, one loving word to yourself at a time. When you notice a thought that feels tight or painful, don't push it away. Just notice it. Ask where it came from. Ask if you still want it. And if the answer is no, say gently to yourself, I choose a new thought. I choose love. Let me share this thought with you. I am willing to release the beliefs that no longer serve me. I am safe to believe in love. I am safe to believe in truth. You don't have to believe it all the way yet. Just be willing. That small opening is enough. Truth doesn't need to be forced. It arrives when the heart is ready, and your heart is ready now. That's why you're here. There's a part of you that already knows you are so much more than what you were told. That part of you is the real you, the inner light, the spirit, and it has never been damaged, not by hurtful words, not by rejection, not by failure. That light is eternal. It's only been covered by clouds of belief, but clouds pass. The sky remains. You are not the voice that criticizes. You are not the fear. You are not the story someone else gave you. You are the presence beneath all of that, the calm awareness, the soft strength. And when you return to that, even for a breath, healing begins. Real healing. Not the kind that hides the wound, but the kind that brings light to it and says, I see you. You're safe now. Your beliefs are not your identity. They are just habits of thought, and habits can be changed, not by fighting them, but by choosing again and again to speak kindly to yourself, to notice what feels true, to listen with love. That's all truth needs, a little space to grow, like a seed planted in fresh soil, like a tender bud reaching for sunlight. You have the power to grow a new inner garden, one that blooms with kindness, with safety, with truth. And it starts today, with this moment, with this breath, with your willingness to say, I choose to believe something new. That choice is sacred, that choice is brave, and that choice will change everything. Let's go back for a moment to when some of these beliefs were planted. As children, we are like open fields, ready to receive seeds, and many of those seeds were not ours. They were handed down by others who also didn't know better. People who were hurting, scared, confused. They may have said things that stayed in your mind, words that shaped how you saw yourself. But those words were never truth. They were only echoes of someone else's pain. And now you can stop the echo. You can speak something new into that space. You are not here to carry the pain of generations. You are here to heal it. You are the turning point, the one who says, this ends with me. I choose something different. That is a powerful decision, and you don't need permission to make it. You already have everything you need. In this moment, you can begin to change the story you tell yourself. You can begin to tell a story that feels warm, that brings ease, that makes your heart exhale. And that story starts with a truth as simple as this: I am lovable. I am worthy. I am enough. Speak those words slowly. Feel them in your body. Let them rest on your heart like a gentle hand. And if it feels hard to believe, that's okay too. Just keep speaking them. Truth doesn't rush. It waits. It stays. It whispers until one day it becomes the loudest voice in your mind, not because you forced it, but because you welcomed it. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time. Every moment has brought you to this one, where a new path begins, and it begins not with struggle, but with softness, with love, with truth. Let it enter you now. Let it live in you. Let it grow. There is something so gentle, so natural about the way truth begins to replace the old. It doesn't push. It doesn't demand. It simply waits for an invitation. And once you open the door, even just a little, truth enters quietly and begins to do its healing work. Some of the beliefs we have carried feel like part of who we are. They've been there for so long that to let go of them feels like losing a part of ourselves. But here's something beautiful to remember. Releasing something that hurts you is not loss. It is return. A return to peace. A return to self. A return to love. It's easy to confuse what we believe with what is real. But a belief is only a thought that we keep thinking. That's all. It is not a rule written in stone. It is not the final word. It's just a pattern, one that may have formed long ago when we didn't know better, when we were trying to be safe, when we thought being small or quiet or perfect would protect us from rejection. Those thoughts might have helped us survive, but they are not meant to shape who we become. We are meant to outgrow them. And we can. You are not trapped by your thoughts, even if they feel loud or heavy, even if they show up every day. You are not the voice of criticism inside your head. You are the one listening. You are the one who gets to decide what voice you will believe. And in that decision lies your freedom. When a painful thought rises, I'm not good enough. I always fail. I don't deserve joy. You do not have to accept it. You can gently, lovingly say, that is not the truth. I choose a new thought. This is how we begin to shift, not by fighting the old, but by building the new. Imagine standing at a river. The old beliefs are flowing past you like leaves on the water. You do not need to reach out and grab them. You do not need to argue with them. You simply watch them pass, and as they do, you begin to speak a new truth, one that feels soft and safe and steady. A truth like, I am learning to love myself, or it is safe for me to feel joy, or even, I don't have to believe everything I think. These simple statements, when repeated often and with love, become stronger than the old thoughts. They begin to take root. They begin to shape your inner world. You start to notice moments of peace where there used to be fear. You start to feel calm where there used to be pressure. And little by little, truth becomes your new foundation. The body is always listening. It hears every word you speak. It feels every thought you think. When you hold on to pain-filled beliefs, the body tightens. It braces. It protects. And when you begin to release those beliefs, the body softens. It opens. It begins to heal. You may notice it in your breath, in your shoulders, in your stomach. When a kind thought enters, the body breathes a sigh of relief. This is why the work of changing beliefs is also the work of healing the body. The two are not separate. They are partners in your well-being. Sometimes we live for years with tightness in the chest, or a knot in the belly, or tension in the jaw, and we don't even realize that beneath it is a belief that says, I'm not safe, or I'm not allowed to rest, or I have to be perfect. When we change the thought, the body responds. It releases. It says thank you. It begins to trust again. This is not magic. This is love in action. You don't need to know all the reasons why your body feels the way it does. You don't need to fix anything all at once. You simply need to start noticing, listening, being kind. You might try placing your hand over your heart and saying gently, "It's okay now. You're safe. You're loved." Or breathe deeply into your belly and say, "I give myself permission to relax." These small acts are sacred. They are how we tell the body a new story, one that leads to ease and peace. The body remembers everything, but it also listens to what we say now. And when we speak to it with love, it responds, it heals, it opens, it begins to feel like home again. You don't have to force anything. You only have to be willing to try, one breath at a time, one soft word at a time. This is how we teach the body to trust. This is how we remind it that it is safe now, that the danger has passed, that we are choosing love. When you speak to yourself with kindness, you begin to build a new relationship with your mind, with your emotions, with your body. You begin to feel like your own friend instead of your own enemy. And that changes everything. Because now, instead of being at war inside, there is peace. And in that peace, truth grows, healing grows, life becomes softer. The old beliefs may try to return, like familiar visitors knocking on your door, but you don't have to let them in. You can smile gently and say, "Thank you, but I'm choosing a new thought today." You can turn your attention to what supports you, what uplifts you, what brings peace. And with each new loving thought, you are creating a new inner world. Every time you say something kind to yourself, you are planting a seed of truth. And like all seeds, it may not bloom right away, but with patience, with love, with care, it will grow. You might begin with simple words like, "I am open to change," or "I am safe to believe in good things," or "I am learning to trust myself." These thoughts are soft, but they are strong. They are the quiet builders of a new life. When you find a thought that feels like truth, you will feel it in your body. There is a lightness, a softening, a sense of ease. Truth does not create fear. Truth does not cause tension. It brings peace. It brings clarity. It brings relief. And even if your mind tries to argue, your body will know. It will say, "Yes, this feels good." That is how you know you found a thought worth keeping. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to do everything right. You only need to be willing to listen to what feels loving, what feels true. And if a thought feels hard or heavy, you can ask yourself, "Is this helping me? Is there something softer I can choose?" That simple question opens the door to a new way of thinking. You are not trying to become someone else. You are remembering who you already are. Underneath every belief is the truth of your being, and that truth is love. It has always been there. It has always waited for you. And now you are ready to let it in. This is the beauty of this work. You don't have to chase the truth. You only have to remove what is not true. And what remains will guide you. What remains will heal you. What remains will feel like coming home. So take another breath now, a slow, gentle breath, and say quietly in your heart, "I am willing to believe in peace. I am willing to believe in truth. I am willing to love myself more today than I did yesterday." And with that, you begin again. Each moment, a new beginning. Each thought, a new choice. Each breath, a reminder that truth is already here. You only have to say yes to it. Sometimes all we need is the smallest spark of willingness. a single moment when we say to ourselves, maybe I don't have to keep living like this. That small opening can shift everything, because even the most painful beliefs are not carved in stone. They're written in the sand. And with loving attention, with patient repetition, with kindness toward yourself, you can wash them away. This is where your new foundation begins. You are not erasing who you are. You are remembering who you've always been underneath the noise. Let's speak gently to that part of you that wants to believe but feels afraid. You don't have to rush this. The old thoughts didn't arrive in one day, and the new ones don't need to either. What matters is your direction. Each time you speak a loving truth to yourself, you are guiding your inner world back to peace. These truths are not fancy or complex. They are simple, like soft petals unfolding. A truth might sound like, I matter, or my voice is important, or even, I am lovable exactly as I am. Speak these to yourself not just once, but again and again, like a lullaby. The more you repeat them, the more they will feel like home. Some people ask, how do I know if it's truth or just another thought? And I say, the truth always feels kind. It doesn't rush. It doesn't shame. It brings a soft relief to your body. It opens the heart. If a thought makes you feel lighter, freer, safer, that is truth. If a thought makes you feel small, afraid, or ashamed, that is not truth, no matter how long it's been there. You are learning to tell the difference now, and that is a beautiful step. Let yourself build these new foundations, one breath, one affirmation, one gentle choice at a time. Speak them in the morning as you wake. Speak them in the mirror as you look into your own eyes. Speak them when you walk, when you drive, when you feel unsure. You are relearning how to treat yourself with love. That's not selfish. It's sacred. You are building a home inside yourself that feels warm, safe, and true. That is what a new foundation is. The heart has its own intelligence. It knows what feels loving. And when truth enters the heart, it doesn't feel like effort. It feels like return, a return to peace, a return to trust, a return to a self that is kind and whole and radiant. That self has always been there. You are simply making more space for it now. When something is true, it doesn't push. It doesn't force its way into your mind. It gently arrives like sunlight through a window. You feel it. You know it. It may be quiet, but it stays. You begin to recognize that voice within you, not the one that criticizes or rushes, but the one that soothes, the one that says, you're okay. You've always been okay. That voice is truth. And it is always speaking. We are just learning to listen again. This is why we don't need to go searching for truth outside of ourselves. We already hold it. We simply quiet the noise, pause the rush, and listen inward. That's where the answers live. That's where peace waits. Let your heart speak. It knows, it remembers, and it will guide you back to your truest self with a gentleness that will surprise you. When the mind is full of doubt, when the old thoughts come knocking, go back to the body. Place a hand over your heart or belly and ask, does this thought feel like love? The body will answer. It always does. Truth brings relaxation, not tension. Warmth, not fear. Lightness, not dread. Trust those signs. They are the compass of your healing. And sometimes the mind won't believe the new thought yet, and that's okay. Don't fight it. Simply say, I am willing to believe. That willingness is everything. It's a bridge from where you are to where you want to be. You don't have to leap, Just take one step at a time. Each loving thought you choose becomes a stepping stone to a life that feels better, brighter, and more real. Think of affirmation as a whisper that becomes a song. At first, it may feel awkward. Your mind may resist, but keep going. Over time, your whole being will begin to hum with the energy of truth, and you will look back one day and realize the old thoughts have grown quiet, the pain has softened, and you, yes, you, have changed from the inside out. So speak to yourself today in words that feel kind, words like, I am becoming more myself each day. It's okay to feel unsure and still move forward. Every moment is a chance to choose love again. These are not just phrases. They are reminders of who you truly are. Repeat them not to make something happen, but to remind yourself that it already has. The truth is not something you earn. It is something you uncover. It is always waiting beneath the surface of the fear, the pain, the noise. And when you begin to live from truth, you begin to live in peace. You begin to see the world with softer eyes. You make kinder choices. You breathe more fully. Life becomes less about survival and more about joy. This is the beauty of alignment. At first, life may not look different on the outside, but inside, everything begins to shift. You stop punishing yourself. You stop rushing to be enough. You stop measuring your worth by what you do, and instead, you start resting in the knowing that you are already enough, already whole, already worthy. That is truth. You may still face challenges. You may still feel the old beliefs rise, but now you have tools. You have awareness. You have love. And with each breath, you can return to yourself, return to the center, return to that place within you that is unshaken by the world. That is the power of truth. It doesn't need to be defended. It simply is. You might begin your day now with a new kind of ritual, not one of pressure, but one of peace, a hand on your heart, a breath, a soft thought. Today, I choose truth. And that one choice sends a ripple through everything you do, your words, your actions, your choices. They all begin to reflect love. This is not a race. This is a return. There is no finish line, only more love, more trust, more softness, more you, the real you, the one who always knew how to bloom but just needed sunlight, the one who always had wings but forgot how to fly, the one who has always been enough. You are allowed to live in alignment with what is true for you. You are allowed to say no to thoughts that hurt. You are allowed to grow in a direction that feels good. This is your life, your path, your healing, and there is no one right way, only the way that brings you peace. So let yourself rest in this new awareness. Let the old fall away without anger or blame. Let truth rise in you like dawn, quiet, slow, certain. And know that no matter where you've been, no matter what you've believed, you are always welcome to return to love. Always. You are not the sum of your thoughts. You are the space beneath them, the stillness, the presence, the light, and that light can never be dimmed, not by doubt, not by fear, not by pain. It is your birthright, your essence, your truth. And so, dear one, take this moment to affirm a new way of being. Gently speak to yourself. I no longer believe in lack. I believe in love. I no longer need to prove myself. I am already enough. I no longer carry what was never mine. I release it with love. Let this be the beginning, not of striving, not of fixing, but of remembering the truth that has lived within you all along. And with each breath, let that truth grow stronger. Let it fill you, guide you, nourish you, and may it carry you forward into a life that reflects the love you are. This is the miracle of healing. This is the power of truth. And you, dear soul, are ready.